Should I own a tactical fixed blade knife? Well, my thoughts on this is pretty simple. I think that I would start out with a decent bushcraft knife. There's a lot of bushcraft knives that also could be a survival knife. Some people actually say like the Ka-Bar fighting knife is both a survival knife and a bushcraft knife. I personally disagree, but everybody has their own kind of needs and their own kind of feel for a knife. The quillions on the fighting knife that the Ka-Bar puts out kind of ruins it for me. Also the profile of the blade and so forth. But basically what we're saying here is you need to have your basic essential tools, such as your cutting tools, squared away before you get into all this tactical and fighting knife stuff. Because practically you're not going to probably be carrying around a fixed blade knife that's going to be of a tactical nature very much at all, if any. So I would first square away your survival knife / bushcraft knife first. And then I would probably get yourself some really good, decent quality, everyday carry pocket knives. Especially you can have a few that you can put in a rotation so you don't get bored with one. Or you have a variety so that you might have a certain task that may, be better with one than another. So I have different kinds of EDC or everyday carry folding knives. And then lastly, I would probably have a tactical, there we go, tactical, or a self-defense folding blade. Which would be a lot easier to carry. Typically, they're lighter weight and they're smaller in form factor than a tactical knife. Now, after all that's done, and you may have some redundancies of those, then I would maybe consider, just maybe then, to get a tactical fixed blade knife. Because what kind of role are you going to really put these in? Now, if it's going to be something for everyday carry and it's a small tactical fixed blade, that's kind of cool, and that probably is practical for some people. Not very many, but some. Maybe for a neck knife. That could be for some, but most people don't wear a neck knife. But most people are going to think about, when they think about a tactical knife, a full, like a 10 to 13 inch type of overall dimension knife with a 5 to 7 inch blade, and it's made for fighting, pretty much, just for fighting and maybe killing. And so most people don't carry one on their hip. They just don't walk around with those. And that's just the facts, maybe just a few % of the population. So you're typically going to have this strapped in a pack or on a pack, and that's basically how it goes. Or if you have a tactical belt set up, you may have it on that, but when are you going to wear that, So it's just, maybe as a backup knife, maybe so, but this just me. If I was to get a tactical knife, I'd want to make sure they can at least do a few other things besides just being cool and tactical for fighting. Maybe have a tactical fighting / like survival knife, and they're out there, so that could be a thing. And most fighting knives do not do well with bushcraft at all, but maybe for just general survival, maybe like the Ka-Bar fighting knife, I could see that maybe being just general a good survival knife overall. There's definitely some Ontarios out there that are pretty good for both. But, you have to kind of just see what works for you. And that's why I kind of hesitate to even bring up a name or a model, because it's really, really depending on you. How big your hands are, what the feel of the knife, the weight sensitivity, the size sensitivity, and so forth. So with that, I hope that helps. I don't think it's wrong to have a big tactical knife or a big fixed blade or even any kind of size, the tactical fixed blade, as long as you have other things squared away. So as with that, you guys have a great summer. Hope everything's going well, and have a lot of cool videos coming out real soon.